Bents, Queensland are so back.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
so
Yippee.
back.
So Yippee.
Everyone's sleeping on us once again.
It's
Oh,
simple.
Some people might have clicked off the video already.
Respectfully to all New South Wales fans, I think they're finally becoming self-aware that they just don't get it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Like, we've known that for a while, but it really cemented it this year.
Like I'm seeing in the comments, like literally they've been like, maybe we just don't.
Yeah,
get
no,
it.
because like every single year, they're the biggest favourites every single year.
Yeah.
This year, it was one of those years where it's just New South Wales are winning the whole time, but they didn't. It was a great game of footy though.
Was a good game. I honestly, it's probably one of the best games I've seen Queensland play. Like we were pretty flawless.
Yeah, the completion rate was actually incredible, and I was actually watching it down at Felons. Shout out to Harry, who was next to me. He was giving me some
Shout
great
out Harry.
commentary. But yeah, it was a phenomenal game. The first half we had no errors. I think that's what it came down to in the end. We were just completing, being reliable. Every single selection Billy made was absolutely flawless as well.
Billy was the MVP this series.
Yeah, he
like the
literally
balls to drop your captain, the balls to
was.
pick
Man.
our Shibasaki, and special mention to our Robbie Toya.
Oh,
We've known he's a superstar for ages.
Yeah. Before he even
But-
debuted, we were glazing.
Yeah.
So
I think the special thing about him is we always knew he had the attack and like we knew he was just good defensively. He just showed his like consistency.
yeah, and he
this
can
series.
do a lot more than that as well. Like
Yeah.
he showed little
That's
glimpses.
a glimpse.
When he stepped Latrell there, nearly scored a try. Oh man, I was off my nut when that happened. But yeah, he showed little glimpses. His defense was incredible. He's got that athleticism. Robbie Toy.
He's going to be our centre for 12 years.
Nah, longer. I reckon until he's 30,
15.
35, 15
15
years.
years.
Yeah, he's at what, 20 years old?
Shibasaki's still young.
Yeah, 26 or 27,
Something like
I
that.
think. Yeah, and shout out Shibasaki as well because that's an incredible story in itself.
Is Nathan Cleary fully to blame? Is it a team-wide blame? Is Laurie Daly to blame?
I think Laurie Daly should take the most blame, in my opinion. I think it all comes down. Everything starts from the selection of the team, and quite frankly, there's no way to beat around the bush other than saying he didn't select the best players.
It's undeniable that Mitch Moses, his impact is
Oh yeah,
like he comes into game 3 last year. He's the MVP.
it was
Injured
incredible.
this year.
game
They go
one.
0-2. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not to be an absolute hater on New South Wales. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible.
no, you
but
can hate. It's fine.
But their halves pairing was actually really poor yesterday. I think Luai had a very average game. He had glimpses of, some good grubbers and so on, try assist at the end. But I think, yeah, Cleary, you can't blame just one man, Cleary. I think the whole team
I think the blame to Cleary is like objectively some games like, yeah, he's not that bad, but he's not that good. But we're just comparing him to his club form where he's nearly an immortal.
Exactly. It's like you got to separate his club status and his origin status. That's what you're going to do now, which is disappointing
Yeah, it
because he
is.
could be the GOAT. But then you
That's
can't
the
really
chink in his
say-
armor now.
Yeah. Now that's that one argument that everyone can say is he's done nothing in Origin, and it's true because he hasn't won a single decider.
He's accepted that. He even came
Yeah.
out and was like, yeah, I haven't done it yet.
He is a champion though. Like even the way he addressed it, he took blame. He said he's got to be better, so on. I've got a new question for Kangaroos. Would you be selecting Tom Dearden or Cleary to start?
Tommy's my guy, little terrier.
I do think
Honestly, I think you should.
I think you should, but I also think Tommy can actually play 14 off the bench. Probably
Yeah,
play a lot
he
more
proved that
positions.
game one.
I think Cleary, he hasn't done anything bad for Kangaroos by any means, and he wasn't awful yesterday. Like
He just
wasn't the star. I feel like someone of his stature, he's got to take over the game.
He
and
couldn't
didn't really
handle
do
the
that.
rushing defense.
Yeah, exactly. But in saying that, it's pretty hard to play well against that Queensland team the way they played yesterday.
That is very true.
Yeah, and man, I mean, we're going a bit back and forth here. There's so much to say about, but Billy's selections, Papali, I was kind of hating on that, and
Hey, well-
it proved me wrong.
I just thought
Capewell,
he was like a culture pick, and I always trusted that. Give me your best 10 minutes, Big Papa, and you can
Yeah.
have a spell.
I actually thought about it today, and I was like, you know what? If you're picking either Fodawaker or Papali, they're probably going to do the same output. You might as well pick Papali for the experience, the vibes, and also just culture. And he actually plays with that badge, like he loves it.
I love his mini me kid as well.
Yeah,
exactly
his kid's
the same.
adorable.
Mm,
Yeah, I want to meet him.
wholesome. Should we talk?
Nah, there's one more thing to say.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think something we need to address Laurie Daly, his selections. Terrell May not being included, Colin Matonga not being included. I guess you could argue Kiraz as well, the form he's in. Do you think he's under a bit of pressure next year?
Well, I mean, he's done it what? He's got a series win once.
Yeah, that's what I
He
mean.
doesn't have a great track record. I think this team that he picked was fine. I
Yeah,
think
it's a good team.
I think his substitutions were really poor.
Max King playing, 15 minutes? It's a bit weird. I don't know.
Keon should have been picked over Utagamanu.
Yep.
That's a simple one.
Yeah.
Connor Watson should have come on earlier. I think Teddy, as Queensland fans,
Yep.
Deadwood's always a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Teddy, when he touches the ball, you're frightened.
I would have been way more scared of Teddy, respectfully. Deadwood's obviously does the hard yards and gets...
You can never say Deadwood's played bad.
Yeah,
but
he also gets glazed every second by the commentators, which actually does my head in. But anyway, I guess that's our Origin wrap up for now.
yeah. We'll do timestamps if you just want to skip straight to the
Yeah,
buy hold
of
sells.
course.
Do you want to talk about your betting?
Yeah, something that will actually be starting this week is a little... I don't know if it'll be on WhatsApp or Instagram, but we'll be doing a betting group. It'll actually be paid just a small fee. But the idea is I've been actually part of this betting group all year, and it uses algorithms and maths and Excel and so on to pretty much come up with bets that have value. And so far, it's actually up about 70 units for the year, which is pretty good. And it keeps inputting values and data from the weeks before.
I mean, that's tangible evidence that the system works.
If you're someone who likes to bet on, numbers, statistics, data, want to make a little bit of money, it's a good idea. I know a lot of people like betting with gut and having a bit of fun. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yep.
But if you want to do something, bet on the data, the stats, and also understand a little bit why we're putting the bets on, I think it's something for you.
It's all good to bet off feel, which often is very fun, but sometimes it's also fun to win.
Yeah, up 70 units speaks for itself. So if you're interested, send us a message. I think we might just do $10 or something a week, but it's actually profited every single week that we've done it, bar 2 so far for the whole year. So I think it's a pretty good idea if you're into that stuff.
Proof's in the pudding.
There you go. Send us a message.
Should we get into the buys?
Yep, let's go.
There is plenty
It's a lot.
this Origin period, the buys, especially after this week, where this week's just the starting 13, reminder. But now we can get the guns in. Now we can look at the Origin guys.
This is the final stretch, like where you really get your final team as soon as you can.
And just quietly, a lot of talk about all out's rank, which is very fair.
It's been going down a lot.
We're coming 6,000.
Yeah,
So
and we have had a bad year. Like for our we've had a lot of luck knock our way as well. I don't want to blame everything on luck. Obviously, some decisions we've made could have been better, but some of the captaincies we did at the start of the year, we probably lost hundreds of points just from picking not terrible mate at the start. We picked Cleary a few times when he did terrible, so on, so on. I think if we actually picked the right captain and kept our team, we'd probably be about 2,000 or less, I reckon.
last 5 weeks, we probably had 4 injuries where we were on track for a massive score.
Yeah, and those buy rounds, I know it's affected a lot of people, but we have had a pretty rough run with our injuries as well. We haven't been able to field full teams, but
we've had to use a lot of trades.
Yeah, I think we're 6,500 something.
Oh, we're coming.
Yeah, you can't complain, and we're going to be prepared for the end of the year, so gotta keep tabs on us. We'll be going down.
I just keep your hate to a minimum.
Yeah, I mean, other people hating. This is the worst you have had.
I just assume what they are.
Is 6,000 would still be what, like top 5%?
Yeah.
Would it? Oh, there you go. It's not bad.
I'm just basing it off the fact we have earnings.
Yeah, if you're hating on us, that's just rude, though.
Okay.
We do this for free, so.
Yeah, that's why we need you to buy the. But
please buy it.
Hooker, Connor Watson. Everyone had him at the start of the year. He did great. Hopefully comes back into that 80-minute role. Reminder for all these Origin guys, check your late mail because some of them are named. They may get pulled late. Some of them are named in the extended and may go in late.
Yep.
So Connor Watson, I think, is a great option in that dual status.
666K is just simply undervalued for him. At the start of the year, he was pumping out 60s and 80s and whatever. Then he had a bit of a rough patch. So he's actually cheap, but he is simply undervalued at 666. Roosters have a phenomenal draw for the end of the year. They don't have any buyers for the rest of the year. He's probably number 1 on my list. He's got that hooker and mid coverage as well. He's the first person I've traded in. So
yeah, I mean, he's priced at 50. He's probably a 55 plus guy.
Yeah. And he loves a little meat pie here and there, try assist. And I think the Roosters, with the position they're in, they need to win games. They actually do have some pretty tough games, I should say. I think they've versed Storm like twice. But I think he is simply value.
just with the Roosters, we did say if they lost, we wouldn't do the podcast anymore. But
We were lying. We had our fingers crossed.
yeah, we just said it for the lulz.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
Sorry. Just don't watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were crossing our fingers, so it didn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry Grant, he was electric. And I think he should play. He's named in the extended, but we're hoping he worked his ass off. We're hoping he gets picked this week. If he is, we know what he can do. Pretty simply.
I had Harry Grant at the start of the year for the first 6 weeks when he decided to be poo. But that just means he's at a discount now. 636K. He's an end game hooker. He's usually the best hooker in the game. I would say he still is. He just hasn't had the best start of the year. Now's the time to get him while he's cheap.
My only concern is Newcastle, no Ponga, no Sharp. They're mud.
Yeah, they're absolutely dog
They
water.
probably could rest their Origin guys, and realistically, it'd probably be smart to.
Yep.
But just get him for the week after if you want him or Watson. Good thing with Watson is you could probably get both just because you can put him into your mids.
Yep. And both those teams don't have a buy for the rest of the year, so you can't really go wrong with either of those options.
Yeah. Talon Silva, you don't want to stack up on too many hookers, but he is still a really good cash out option.
He's 230K, and this is the time of year where you're going to need these 230K players. And he's probably going to be one of the only few that actually plays some minutes. I can't imagine he's going to get they've got Coruscant. I'd say he could play 30 minutes. He could
Well, he's at
crack
the
at
Eels
30.
now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. You're right.
Yeah,
So
but
he's a buy then.
I'd probably just wait a week. I mean, yeah.
When's Riley Smith back? He'll be back soon, but shouldn't matter.
It's
too
just,
much.
it's a coin
Two-
toss who starts. You'd think
230K.
the Silva does. That's sort of why they got him.
Yeah. It's 230K. Can't really go wrong. I think he's probably the number one cash out option to free up some space to get a gun elsewhere.
Yeah, very fair. The next guy is, we'll go into the mids. Isaiah Yo. I mean,
Yo's yo.
that's pretty simple. I got him even before the buy because I was like, I need this guy just for this week's points. Get him in.
Hopefully he doesn't get rested, which he could, but even if he plays, 10 minutes less than normal, he's still going to pump out a 50.
They're named in the reserves.
Yeah.
Or the gun.
That's one you got to
Penrith
watch.
guys.
Yeah.
But it's slightly different year. Penrith, they are in the top 8, but they're pushing for top 4. They probably do really need that win. And
He's
respectfully
endgame.
to the Penrith guys for Origin, they were all awful.
Yeah, they were. I think I'd be punishing them.
Actually,
by
not
making
Brian
them
Toa.
play. Yeah, he was,
was
good.
good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Yo's price as well at the start of the year, 866K. He's 100K less than that
you're
now.
not getting him cheap.
If you're not getting Yo now or next week, you're just silly.
Him, May, and Haas are just...
It just makes the game so easy when your mids
Yeah,
are so good.
yeah.
It's like, oh man. Love him.
Next guy is very underrated, both fantasy-wise
Mm.
and IRL, Whyte.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know that Roosters are getting back Spencer. They're getting back a few players, but even without them playing, he seemed to be just hovering around 55 minutes, and it didn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think he just had a
gets
discount.
60.
Yeah, his
easily.
last two scores are 60 and 75, so his break even would be absolutely nothing. 613K. If you can't really afford the top tier of Yo or Watson, you just have a little bit less than that. Fainu Whyte looks like your guy. I don't see why not. He's scoring so well all year, pretty consistent. Does
Yep.
have a few 35s or so, but if you can get that out of his game, he could be a top tier player.
Yeah, he's pretty good price as well.
Yep.
Xavier Willison, he is so good.
Oh my goodness.
He works his ass off. He's named it prop again. I mean, based off last game, I'm very inclined to, but there is a bit of risk about minutes and roll.
It is a very risky one. I think this is one that you could risk if you have the trades, which no one really has. I don't think I could risk it just because they have those Origin boys coming back who just get so much work done in the middle. But he is an absolute beast. He should be starting there every week.
Yeah.
Why not?
One guy, Tino, break even of 72, about there. I'd probably wait a week, and then they got the Tigers. He's at 640 at the moment. After the bye, wait, no, they don't have another bye yet left.
Yeah.
So, we know what Tino can do as well.
Tino is him.
He has a few games where he's been on the bench as well.
Yeah. I'm looking at his scores once again, and you just see 72, 73, 66. I like what I see. He's just simply that 600 to 700K. There's so many options.
Yeah.
It's like,
he had a couple of stinkers in there because they were sort of in and around Origin where he played reduced minutes.
yeah, when he's fully playing, he's getting like 65, 70 minutes. Like, oh man, I like him.
That's
he's actually a
me
massive
looking at his
buy.
scores. Yeah.
641K. Once again, you're not seeing him cheaper than that.
There's going to be a lot of good mids that
actually,
people are
you
getting
might.
in.
His break even, as you said before, is pretty high.
Yeah, you can get him in next week, but
probably wait a
if
week.
you just want the points, you may get reduced minutes as well. Post.
I like what I see.
We'll go on to the edges. Angus Crichton, his price is scrumptious.
Yeah,
if we're comparing him to last year, especially.
So far, I mean, my trades aren't set in stone, but I've got Watson and Crichton as my two people I've brought in this week. So I like what I see a lot. Angus Crichton is endgame, 603K. Remember what he did last year as well? Got to like 750. He just speed ran to 750K.
I could have about 8 Roosters in my team.
Oh, yeah. That's the issue, though. Cause,
Teddy, Naff, Marky Mark.
But why not?
Yeah.
They
don't miss a game.
They got Sam
They've got
Walker
a great
back.
draw coming up.
Yeah.
They're firing.
Sam Walker's back, and he is the attacking output god for them. Like, they're going to score a lot of points. I think they're going to have a very, very good end of the year. They're actually paying over $2 to make the top 8. Fun fact. Value there.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, no. I think they're paying $50 to win the whole comp. If you want to double, $10 worth.
I could actually see it.
Yeah, if they scrape into the 8, they have a full team. They get like a bit lucky with the draw. They could beat the Bulldogs. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
I think it's value, but yeah, Crichton's the guy.
Yep. Eli Katoa, we've talked about him a lot.
He's
Not much to say.
Still a buyer.
Yeah. Nikora, you had him last year. Again, I'd really just rather go Angus Crichton.
Yeah, I don't like Nikora's fluctuations. He is so inconsistent. He needs a meat pie to score really well, and if he doesn't, he just gets a 40, and I don't like that.
Sharks have a pretty good run, but also it's the Sharks.
Yeah.
So you don't know what they're putting out each week.
Yeah, and saying that, Nikora was pretty much the reason I won last year because I got him at around this price, and he absolutely destroyed. So it's definitely a risk that could pay dividends, but I think you just might as well get Angus Crichton that price.
Into the halves, Isaiah Katoa. I know the Dolphins have a bye coming up, but I mean, he's been absolutely gun all year.
He's a certified gun.
And mind you, could be an Origin smoky next year.
Yeah.
If they don't want to pick Cleary.
I thought, it would have been very bold to start him, but I think, honestly, he deserved a start over Luai.
Yeah, easily.
Obviously, he hasn't played 5'8" for Dolphins, but I think even just the experience would have been so valuable for him.
It's clear Cleary, that groin was still affecting him. Then why would you pick Luai? Because you obviously need another guy who's capable of kicking long, kicking consistently.
They need to let go of the old Panthers boys, picking them all together. Like they play on different
that block
teams
play
now.
with Isaiah going out the back.
Yeah,
I feel like we were reading it perfectly, and we'd have plenty of footage.
Exactly. And you pretty much summarized it perfectly there. But yeah.
Anyway, Katoa, they got a buy. They got Cronulla, then they got the Cows, then they got a buy, then they got the Wars. Fair enough if you're a bit annoyed by that buy and you don't really want to get him. But he's averaging.
You set and forget if you get him.
Yeah, he's averaging 58.
And I think he's going to push for some pretty good scores at the end of the year, the way they're playing. So.
Yeah. Jaden Campbell. Another one, sort of like Tino, massive break even, but it's like, does it really matter if they lose 30K if you expect them to score so well this week?
No, it doesn't. And it's just another one that's 677K. There's actually too many options.
I'm actually so excited about fantasy.
Yeah, because now there's going to be a bit of diversity in the teams. A lot of the teams are very similar in the top 1,000 especially. Everyone's made the same choices. Everyone's blindly captain May. Congratulations. No talent, by the way.
I wish... Fantasy needs to implement, you have to captain someone different every week.
Imagine, or you can't do the same person 2 weeks in a row or something.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah, that would make it very good. Because if you set and forget, you're not doing anything, bro. I don't like that. But Jaden Campbell.
Pretend Jaden Campbell gets 50.
Yeah.
Probably go more than that, but yeah, he'll lose about 30 odd K.
Yeah,
and 82. Then you can pick him up for, 650, 640 next week. But
I say you wait the week. It's probably worth it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because once you get him, you're not getting rid of him. So it's like you might as well just wait a week and then keep him for the end of the year.
And it's also a week where it's just your starting 13th. So I mean,
You don't need to
there's a
get
couple of guys that I'm not playing, and I'm like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a half or need a fullback for this week, then you could just go a week early. But
Yep.
I'd probably rather him over Katoa just because the price.
Yep. Who's another guy? Do we think Fogarty? He's a decent option.
Yeah,
always
he's
is.
not like a buy by any means, but it's one of those positions where you can just get him and then you have no stress for a while.
Yeah.
It's a stress reliever.
They're on the buy. Sorry, I don't know why I said Fogarty.
Yeah.
Tanner Boyd.
Tanner Boyd. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
This is a weird one because it's like we don't really know what we're going to see with him at the Wires, but we got
I like the potential.
we've got data of
Yeah.
him at the Titans, and he was pretty good fantasy wise.
Yeah, I'm looking at his halfback scores now, and I'm seeing a lot of scores over 50, which is what I like to see. It's definitely worth having a look there. I think it's one that we got to wait at least a week.
Yeah, I got to give it a week. Last year,
497K.
averaged about 38 playing halfback, but you push it to the year before, and it's around 50.
If he gets the output that Metcalf was getting, then definitely a buy. But yeah, you just got to wait and see for him because we really don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, just not sure if
It would be a blind
I'm not
pick.
sure if it's worth taking the punt on Tanner Boyd at this time of the season.
Yeah.
If it was midway through the season or if it was at the start, then yeah,
If
definitely.
you got an elite 60 or something and it was like pretty much just base,
Yeah.
then that's like one you'd be getting next week for sure.
Fainu, still good to buy.
Yeah, he's still cheap as. I didn't actually jump on, which I don't know why I didn't. He's 380K now, which is annoying. He did score that try, which was gifted to him. But I'm just hating because I don't have him.
I didn't get him because I just had I had too many halves, and I was like,
Same. I didn't need a half.
yeah, I knew I wouldn't be playing him in the buy round. It's just like,
He's in the negative break even, so he's probably 380K still a buy. He's going to go to about 550 or something probably.
into the centers, some interesting options. Zach Lomax. I do worry about him without Moses.
Yep.
And
Good
the
body.
Eels generally suck, but he's one of those wingers who constantly get involved. Good pod.
In a way, not having Moses, he'll probably like feel the need to get more involved as well. He'll
Yeah.
want to get his hands on the
Kicking
ball.
goals.
One of those guys, he's just greedy for the ball. He just runs it every single time, which is exactly what you want fantasy wise. 600K is actually cheap as.
He's averaging 48 this year. Yeah,
He's-
I like it.
Yeah, I actually like it as a pod option, to be honest.
They
I
do
actually
have
really
a
like it.
tough run coming up, Eels. Penrith, Canberra, Broncos, Melbourne. So expect him to maybe not score each of those weeks.
Look, I wouldn't. I'm not going to say no to anyone getting him. I won't be getting him myself because I just think it's a little bit too risky, especially the way that the Eels are actually so mid. But I'm not going to say no to anyone getting him.
Yeah.
Good pod.
Who's the next guy? Val Holmes.
I haven't really looked at him.
It's weird getting Val Holmes. Like, he's been so good this year, but I feel like everyone's centers are 3 guys,
Herbie.
4 guys maybe. No, actually 5.
Yeah.
It's Herbie, it's Lucas, it's Fermor, who we'll talk about. Marky Mark or Kiraz.
Kiraz. Yeah.
Just
So
like,
there's kind of just no need.
do you want to
have
spend
Val.
that much for a center who's, just not as good as those guys?
Yeah.
And it's
also,
probably the worst position.
half of them have the duel as well.
Yeah.
So you'd rather just have Kiraz there. But on Val Holmes, it's pretty cheap, 639K.
But we like to talk about pods. So
Yeah, he's 4.89%. So I'm not saying no to anyone getting him either. He loves a try.
I'll think about it just because
It'd be
Red
fun.
V.
Yeah. No, he'd be a great pod. I actually rate it as a buy.
Bo Fermor, I think he's endgame, and
Yeah.
I'd really try and push to get him.
Yeah.
Especially this year where edges are a bit interesting, where they're not as strong as previous years.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a good position, obviously, but there's been a few injuries and stuff, and that duel's handy. He's so consistent.
I'm looking at his scores in second row, and his worst score this whole year is 44 in second row. That's his worst score. And other than that, he had a 145, and everything is like an elite score, and he had 109 in there as well.
I
He's
mean-
actually, I've been sleeping on him.
I don't have Herbie. You can call me an idiot.
Yeah. Bit stupid.
I'm coming 4,000. I'm coming 4,000, so America's not
That's all right.
3,000. Yeah, but I got Lucas and Fermor in
Yeah,
my
so that's
center,
like
so I'm not
why.
losing sleep about it.
Yeah, exactly. If you got those two and they're playing second row,
Yeah.
their base is 40, 45. So,
Yep.
Bo Fermor's endgame, rate it.
Winger fullbacks, Marky Mark. He's dual. Fuck me.
Man, I'm just mad at myself.
Shake my head, Wallabies.
Uh,
Shake my head.
Wait, I'm happy. He's in the
Yeah,
better spot
fair.
now. It is what it is.
I
Six 51K
It's tough
now.
liking both sports because it's just like,
You don't know what you want.
yeah. No.
They took Suoliti, so there you go. 651K now. He's absolutely flown. That's why he was 400K for ages. and now he's
I got him at
651.
like 400K because I literally needed a number. And
Yeah.
since then, he's absolutely cooked.
I'm looking at his scores now. He scored a double on the weekend playing centre. Is he named in the centres this week or is he on the wing?
He's like a
Check.
freak. And he's one of those guys where if you like the Roosters run, which I do,
Mm.
if there's some points generated,
on the
he's
wing.
he's on the back of it.
Yeah, and he's got Toya next to him.
If Roosters score 20 plus, he's getting 50 plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually love him. He's so good to watch.
Oh, it's a treat.
I feel like I've missed the boat, which I realistically haven't, but I can't do it to spend 650K after missing it.
Oh, he's versus the Red V. Oh.
Toya inside of him as well is like actually handy at like Toya is gonna set him up. So there you go.
Marky
Get him.
Mark for a double this week.
Yeah, he's actually still a buy. Oh
Yeah.
I'm just mad at myself.
I mean, looking at his scores, 78, 81, 48. There's a 31 in there. That was against the Raiders.
Marquee to play Origin next year, by the way.
Yeah.
Put him in over
He'd
Lomax.
be very scary.
Yeah, I would be scared of him.
The thing is, it's like New South Wales have such an elite backline, but I feel
Yeah.
like they're not used.
Yeah, exactly. Like-
Stephen Crichton barely touched it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's just like anyone they pick.
Everyone's like individually good, but then when they come together, it's like I don't know. It's harder. It's a bit of a puzzle.
Here's a puzzle. Dylan Edwards, named in the extended.
His end game.
Yeah, I got
540K.
before Origin, and he absolutely cooked for me.
Yep.
I just think him and Penrith sort of like they were both not going well fantasy wise, and then Penrith IRL, but now they're sort of back.
I feel
think
like,
Dylan
yeah.
Edwards will be too.
Yeah, you explained that well. I feel like if you're backing Penrith to go far this year, you should back Edwards because looking at his last game, he had no tries, no try assists, and he scored 68.
Yeah.
When he's hungry, he just gets points, and I think he's going to be hungry. So.
540K, like that's a
He's
great
a
price.
meter eater as well, and yeah, he's a pickup. That price, wow,
It's
he's probably
scrumptious.
one of the bigger buys, I reckon.
Hammer, he's an interesting one
Shout
because it's
out Hammer.
like you could look at his score and go like, oh, he only got 50 with a try, but it's like it's Hammer. He's going to score.
Yeah, exactly. He scores every.
He got
single
4
week.
tries and got a 69, I think.
Yeah,
But it's
jeez.
But it's like, yeah, well, that's sort of the player he is. He's going to score
yeah.
2 tries every
If
week,
he gets
probably.
an ounce of space, he's scoring a try,
Yeah.
and he's
So-
also single now.
But there you go.
So he's been like absolutely feasting. Like when they get the heart broken, I don't know if he broke our heart or
Yeah, he's
what,
going to be pissed.
but he's got a point to prove.
yeah.
For that reason.
That's
I'd be
it,
getting him. Yeah, we saw Ayongi at the start of the year when he broke up with his girlfriend, and then he absolutely cooked the next game.
If you're a Queensland fan, just buy all the Maroons.
Yeah, honestly.
Shout out to them.
Yeah,
And
Hammer.
and just sell all the Blues players.
yeah.
And
That's-
maybe we do that for our buy, hold, sell post. We just do buy all the Queensland players and then do
George
sell.
Papali.
Yeah.
I do look at the Finns. They got the round 21 buy, but not really relevant. It's only Finns that week. So
It's also pretty handy to use
Exactly.
those guys to loop.
yeah, it's so good.
Very
If you're not
beneficial
looping yet,
sometimes.
what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Fletcher Hunt, he's fullback for the Knights now, Pong out for the season.
Sleeper.
It's hard to say if that's going to be, depends how he plays, if that's a long-term thing. But yeah, cheap cash out option.
232K. I think he's probably. Is he going to keep that spot? You reckon?
It
Don't see why
depends how
not.
he plays. I'm trying to think. Sharp's out for the year.
Scored a try. He's been playing on the wing. Played a game at fullback in round.
He's 232K.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a cash out option. Why not?
I'm thinking about it just because cheapest chips and he's going to play.
Yeah, it'd be stupid if you just got a bunch of mid rangers that sit in your reserves. So you might as well cash them out. Someone who's mid like Hubner or whatever, if you still have him, cash them out for Fletcher Hunt and then just upgrade one of your other mid players for.
Yeah,
whoever
there's
you
no
want.
point taking a risk on a guy who's like 300K who you think might go all right.
Yeah.
It's either worth getting the basement price or get like your Fainus who
Yeah.
are actually
There's actually
definitely going to make a lot of money.
There's actually quite a few basement price people this week, so it's actually a bit blessed there. Everyone should have really good starting teams this week.
Kiraz, he's a
Kiraz.
great option.
Everyone knows about him now, honestly. 703K. He actually went down a little bit because he had one pretty bad score. But he's end game.
He's just the offload just help him so much.
Yeah, they've got no buys at the end of the year. He's going to absolutely gobble.
If you wanted to wing a fullback and someone said, I don't know, like Kiraz or Dylan Edwards or Drinky, I probably would say Edwards or Drinky just because they're 200K cheaper.
Yep, I brought in Drinkwater last week because 544K was just irresistible. Yeah. And now he's, after that fantastic game of 62 points, he's 553, so he's gone up 5K or something.
I've done very well this year on just getting the guys the guns at their lowest possible price. I got Drinky 2 weeks ago as soon as he got like 62 sixes in a row.
They do, Scott Drinkwater does verse Bulldogs this week, so it'll be a bit tough. But saying that, he versed Melbourne last week at 62. And his break-evens there too. 553K. That's one that you get now and you don't look back.
Yep. Easy one.
Yep.
A few honourable mentions, ones to think about next week. I said him before accidentally. Fogarty.
Yep.
You got your Hudson Young.
Yep.
Latrell. Who got owned, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're against Rob. What are you supposed to do?
True.
Like, Rob is just the goat.
I mean, I feel for Latrell. He was sort of down for the count straight away.
Yeah.
Like up against Rob. Like
when you're paired against him, like you might as well just forfeit.
I think he did a pretty good job containing Rob.
Yeah, considering he was on Rob, like he did a good job.
He did a great job, and like, you know, he didn't disappoint Latrell, especially considering he was on Rob.
Everyone was really hyping that matchup, being like, "Oh, it's too much for Rob." Blah blah blah. I mean, we've glazed him so much. I should probably just shut up about it. Everyone gets it. Rob Toyo is the goat.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Tommy Turbo as well. He cooked last week. Maybe centers his position for the rest of his career.
Yeah, he did score a double. I don't know if I still don't have him personally. He's so cheap.
It's actually stupid.
459K for Turbo. Imagine telling someone that 3 years ago.
Imagine looking at the prices at the start of the year.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Who were your fullbacks again?
Mine
at the start of the year.
Oh, it was Drinky, Turbo, and another gun.
Reece Walsh, was it?
No, it was someone else.
That'd be a nightmare.
But I had 3 guns and 2 of them.
Ponga.
Yeah, Ponga. And they were all terrible.
Yeah. All right, we're going to the holds. Pappenhausen has been disappointing.
Yep.
I still think you just back him, you back the Storm. Eventually get like a hat trick and get you 90.
Look, yeah, I'd prefer just getting Drinkwater or Deadwoods over him, to be honest. But
I wouldn't trade him out.
Yeah, no. Pappy's still Pappy at the end of the day. He'll score a try.
Tarpany, I thought he was injured from that hip drop, but he came back on. I do think in the run home, his minutes will get a bit of an uptick.
Yeah, you'd think so. And I think Raiders are a fantastic shout to win this year. If you look at their draw, I don't think they've versed anyone valid like for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So
before the season started, you know how they do like the rating the teams, each team's schedule. They had the easiest.
Yeah, literally look at everyone they verse. It's so simple. They do have the bye this week and a bye in round 24, so I'm probably not bringing him in. But he's probably his end game, to be fair. I wouldn't be selling him if you have him.
Jacob Preston. I would have said if Galvin was still picked.
Galvin should get dropped after that game.
Was Preston on Galvin's side? Or was it Kiraz?
But
regardless, that was a one-off week for Preston. He'll be back to.
Galvin should get dropped after that game.
Then
that was his worst game he's ever played.
Galvin was on the bench for the start of the game. Doggies go up 40-0 and just win.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before as well. It's like, why would they change the winning formula? Like, they just got given like a complex piece, and it's like, how are you supposed to use him? But you're already winning games. What? Don't fix something that's not broken.
Red V, why would you not sign Sexton?
Yeah. Oh my god. Letting
and
him go
why
overseas.
would you not like? Why would Galvin? Why would he not go to Parramatta?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I think he was hungry for glory.
Yeah.
He took less money to go to Bulldogs.
It's just annoying as just an NRL fan. It's just like, why couldn't he go to Parramatta and make them a bit better?
Perfect.
Doggy's already good.
Imagine him and Moses, and they got like a few youngies coming
perfect.
in. It would have been perfect, and he could have shown the impact that he has. But anyway,
NRL should have intervened.
We're talking about Preston, right?
Ewan Aiken also hold. It's a tough one. It's annoying when he gets moved to centre.
Yeah,
but
I'm actually a big holder for him. I just think
he's really good when he plays back row.
Every time he plays 80 minutes there, he's done well. And there's a reason, like, he's just been dodgy because of the minutes and the centres and the circumstances.
It's a bit of a what if luxury, and I might be wrong, but he could get dual position.
Yeah.
I think that's around 22.
Yeah, he could.
That would be very handy when he gets the dual.
The only annoying thing is, he's got that bye this week, so it's like I could understand if you were desperate for points. But I am a big believer. I think he's going to turn it around. I think he's going to average 55 for the rest of the year.
There is some concern about his injury.
Yeah.
That it might be more severe than first thought. Might just look that up real quick.
Yeah, they've got a bye around 26, which isn't ideal for finals if you're playing head-to-head.
Yeah.
So bringing him in, no. But holding if you have him, I'm a big believer. I'll be holding him for sure.
Love this. Ewan Aiken has a leg injury and his return date is unclear. Well, that's not a good sign.
Oh, that's not ideal. Maybe scratch everything we just said.
Yeah, but like that's...
yeah,
It says TBC.
I think you wait till next week.
We need the NRL physio on that. Yep. Well, he wasn't there, so that's sort of tough. Anyway, Sells, Jazzy, you've been great.
Yeah, he's done his job. Fair play. I think everyone was sleeping on him. I mean, if you got him at the start of the year, remember that. what are you doing?
Yeah.
But then
Jack Cogger as well.
Yeah. Then he started just becoming a beast in the middle of the year. Fair. Done his job. He's kind of gone down a little bit at the end, but that's the roller coaster of Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
GG. Time to go.
Appreciate you, Jazz.
Thanks, Jazz.
Sam Smith. We think we said him a lot.
Yeah, he's
Lockie
dropped.
Hubner. Yeah, he was good for the buys, I guess. Jackson Purdue.
These are just all guys, like, you had them at the start. Yeah. It's their time to go.
We probably overheld Purdue and put him in our post as holds, but it was always just about playing in the buy round.
He was always theoretically a hold just because he had the minutes. He had the great buy schedule. He was actually scoring well in center. It was a bit risky when he moved to the halves, and then he moved back to center. And it's like, okay, he's going to score well again, but then he didn't.
He's at 400K now. Do him to Fletcher Sharp or maybe not Fainu because you're not generating much cash there, but do it to Fletcher Sharp. You
could definitely argue hold, like if you still think he's going to score well. But
yeah, that's fair.
It's like, I feel like he's just forever a hold, but you could also just sell him. Like there's no wrong answer there.
Probably is, despite there being so many buys, it is still a good week to hold just because it's the starting 13 and like.
Definitely save the trade. And it's one that you could sell and then he'll just score 70 and you just be like, bruh.
King Togia. Shout out you. Unfortunately, you got to go.
He's just so mid.
I think IRL is better than he is fantasy.
That's actually true. He's actually a good, decent player. He's good. He passes the eye test. That's what I'm trying to say.
Being next to Flanagan's, we got to figure that out.
Flanagan played all right on the weekend, but they need some long-term solution.
Just both of them don't really know who's the chief.
Yeah. They need to overpay for someone. Do what the Tigers did. Just go to someone like Luai and pay him 1.2 mil and then just build.
Yep.
That's what I should do.
Jack Bird, I'd sell. He's on the bench. A lot of people got him because he's back row.
It's unfortunate.
You could probably hold, but
yeah. He's cheap. Wait, so he's on the bench this week?
He's on the bench this week.
It's a shame because so many people in the top 1,000 I saw got him last week as a cheapie.
Yeah. Tony Sukar.
Who?
Is starting at on the edge.
Tony
He's 308K. He's one to watch.
Yeah. That's the first time I've heard of him, to be honest. Actually, I've heard. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was thinking of the letters differently than what it's spelled. SUKK.
Judging off his profile picture, a bit of aura there.
Yeah, I see that.
Could be one to watch.
One to watch for sure.
And Joshy Karan, I've got him. Played 30 odd minutes. He could go back up to good minutes, but they got Max King back. I'd probably sell.
Yeah, I don't like. He's just, as I said a few weeks ago, is the reason I wouldn't get him is because you don't know where he's going to play week to week. He could play prop, second row, bench, get more minutes one week, so on. Yeah, I just think it's too inconsistent. You'd rather just get off the boat, I reckon. Yeah. Time to go.
Anyone we're forgetting?
Let's have a look here.
No, not really.
Nah. Hugo Savala. You could argue upgrading him now. He's playing 5'8" now next to Sam Walker.
I just think that based on his previous scores, it's hard to sell that.
Yep.
I'm pretty confident with each week. It'll be a different picture with Sam Walker, but his tackling numbers and then his kick meters shouldn't drop.
Hold him for a week at least because his break even will still be decent because he's been scoring so well.
Yeah.
I guess another sell is Jackson Paulo if you got him. He's 406K and has terrible output. So if you got him, he's about to go down. Now's the time to get rid of him.
Yep.
I think that covers it.
I mean, yeah, Savala, last 10 rounds, his worst score is 27. Apart from that, it's 46.
Yeah.
So he's been
I
He's been
jumped the
great.
gun when I sold him, unfortunately.
Mm.
But he's absolutely done a job for him. I really like him as a player too.
Yeah, he's good. All right, that's about it.
I think to summarize is you bet on the Roosters to win the chip at $55 or whatever, put $10 on that. The other thing you do is you join our tipping comp. I think it's going to be 10. It might be 15, but just send us a message.
Yeah.
It's profited every week other than 2. So
And keep singing, yeah, yippee.
that's the
yippee,
most
yah.
important one is celebrate, because it's been an absolutely beautiful week for us Queenslanders.
My mood is fine for the next year.
I walked into this building today and there was the biggest smile on my face. Like the sun was shining.
Yeah.
It actually is crazy what a footy game can do to one's mood.
Those 17 men have changed my year.
Yeah, literally. It's
Actually,
like,
18.
and
Billy Slater.
it lasts all the way until next year, assuming that it'll be 1-1. Like, come on, it'll be 1-1 and then decider.
I'm just so confident now. No matter what team we put out, I just go like.
I walked into the game like with delusional confidence because people
Game
sometimes
2,
they don't
I was
get
like,
it.
we're done.
Yeah, game 2, I actually bet on the New South Wales. I was
The
a
fact
bit
that we
of a
lost at
fraud.
Suncorp game 1.
Yeah, and then I had so much confidence in this game. So many people would just count us out. The odds were disrespectfully.
I got on
irrelevant.
Tommy Did in a man of the match.
Yeah, really.
$23, I think.
Yeah, I was on Munster. Also, shout out to Munster because his circumstances were
Always
rough and
class.
he played so well. He was locked in. But it's been a great week, Mick.
So happy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, we'll see you all next week.
catch ya.